The purpose of the barbell box squat is to work a more hip dominant variation of the box squat, wherein most squats are going to be more quad dominant. We're going to focus primarily on working the glutes, the hamstrings, and the low back with this variation. One of the things that we're going to start with is a box that's low enough for us to get a significant hip crease at the bottom of each rep, as you can see here. Generally speaking, I want that box to be somewhere about the bottom of the kneecap, or the back of the knee, I should say. And then when we sit down, we really want to prioritize opening up the hips, shifting our weight back enough that the shins stay relatively vertical. We want to land as soft as possible to really elicit the glute fibers, the hamstring fibers on that eccentric phase. A barbell loaded squat variation, it's going to be wherever is most comfortable on the back, so you don't have to change that. If you like high bar, you can keep with high bar, low bar, keep with low bar, whatever feels most comfortable, but all the mechanics are going to stay the same in either case. Again, we want a slightly wider stance than what you would normally squat with, because this is a much more hip dominant variation. And then as I begin my descent, I'm going to shift my weight back. You can see I kind of unhinge the hips before I start going down. That is very important, because what that's going to allow me to do is really put the bias in the glutes and the hamstrings. So we open up the hips. And then as I begin my descent, I really focus on opening up by driving the knees out. I land with my rib cage over the midfoot, stay here for 1 full second, drive back up. With real-time tempo, it'll look something like this. Key focus is on the way up is going to be hip external rotation, really driving the ground apart, driving the knees out. When your knees start to cave in, that's your quads wanting to take over away from weak glutes. We want to fight that action. We want to drive the knees out as much as possible. If positioned in front of mirror, an easy way to know that you're in the right position at the bottom of the rep is, are your knees making about a 90-degree joint angle? As you can see, when I get to the bottom here, I'm driving my knees open enough that my shins are relatively vertical or perpendicular to the ground, and then as I ascend, they stay out. If my knees cave inward when I'm going down, that's my glutes turning off, that's my glutes being weak. We're trying to fight that here. So again, when I get to the bottom, I'm opening up my hips so that my shins are pretty much vertical. I have about a 90-degree joint angle at the knees.